I have also found some interesting stories concerning this area that tie back to the Devil Throne's name. Once I get up here to the top and we make lunch, I'll tell you about the stories that I've read. They are quite interesting. I could have swore I heard like a screaming sort of sound. It happened twice from over here somewhere. There are no trails out this way. There's absolutely nothing. There it is again.
Well, update you guys. We're taking a pit stop right here, taking a rest. Letting Bridget rest and the dog. And we were way back in there. And we're soon gonna be to the car. We got under a mile to go, under a mile. And then we'll be back to the car. And so I'm looking forward to camping in this forest, doing a night over in it, and seeing if I hear any screams at night or any type of weird sounds or any whoops or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to coming up and spending the night in these woods in my van, and we'll see how that goes. What the hell is that? Something's growling. Something's growling. You guys, there's something growling at us. Get the dog picked up. There's something as we're making our way back to the car. Something is growling at us. Did you hear that? Not joking, you guys. It is a deep growl. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. What do you suppose that was? Holy shit. I've got the can in my hand right now. That was a deep growl, wasn't it? We both stopped and it was just going.
Interesante clip, sin embargo me genera algunas dudas porque la coincidencia de que haya estado hablando minutos atrás acerca de la posibilidad de acampar en un lugar cercano para escuchar posibles sonidos de Bigfoot, pues es muy extraño. Sin embargo, de algo estoy seguro, no se trata de una falsificación, de una grabación falsificada, porque el gruñido, el supuesto gruñido es muy tenue y está mezclado con otros sonidos del ambiente cuando él está hablando. Además de la reacción de la señora, la esposa, que parece ser muy genuina, ya que inmediatamente levanta al perro del suelo y empieza a caminar más rápido. Sin duda un interesante clip. Podría obviamente tratarse de un animal, pero habría que ver si un oso o un puma pueden hacer un sonido tan a la distancia sin que ellos lo pudieran ver y percibirlo aún así.
When in the Appalachian Mountains, you lock all the doors and shut all of your curtains when the sun goes down. If you're outside in the woods, daylight or dark, if you hear something in the woods, you didn't hear anything. If you hear someone say your name, call your name, you didn't hear it. And if you hear someone whistle, you didn't hear that either. Don't ever answer your name, talk back, go looking for whatever you heard, and don't whistle. Just very calmly leave the area. These are just some of the things that we're grown up being taught by our elders and just kind of common knowledge in the Appalachian culture.
Es seguramente el origen de un montón de videos que surgieron en relación a las reglas que debes de seguir si eres un niño creciendo en las montañas Apalaches. Sin embargo, muchos de esos videos exageraban las reglas o las modificaban. Esta mujer que suele vivir concretamente en Carolina del Sur, que es la parte más al sur de esta cordillera, habla de que efectivamente en el folclore de las personas que viven ahí les enseñan a que deben de seguir estas reglas porque hay cosas en los bosques que podrían hacerles daño o incluso desaparecerlos. Es curioso porque la mayoría de los videos que vamos a tocar en este video tienen que ver con los Montes Apalaches. Concretamente el primer video es del sur de Nueva York, que técnicamente forma parte de la cordillera de los Montes Apalaches, ya que esta se extiende hasta el sur de Canadá.
Okay. Something's knocking wood up there. I don't know, that's weird. What is that, man? It seems like maybe it's a squirrel cracking a nut or something. Probably gonna be gated or not accessible. We're gonna check anyway. I did not know these trails were here. Oh look, there's another one with a gate. We're shining a light in anyway. See what we're missing. It looks like we're missing a good one. Good grief, y'all. Yeah, we're missing a real good one. Look at that. I don't think these are like very old at all. That's a pretty high coal seam too. And it's dry. What the freak? That was weird. We got bars on mines, we got people screaming, hooting and hollering. Just my luck, whatever.
En el caso de este video es sumamente interesante porque la primera parte me causa grandes dudas, ya que los supuestos golpeteos en troncos que se escuchan, pues es un comportamiento típico de los Bigfoot o Sasquatch, pero no parece estarse haciendo con demasiada fuerza, es como si un ser humano lo estuviera realizando. Sin embargo, en cuanto a la segunda parte, que es la del supuesto grito mientras se está explorando la mina que está bloqueada, me parece sumamente creíble, sobre todo porque tiene esas características de una vocalización de Sasquatch. Recordemos que estamos analizando videos que tienen que ver con los Apalaches y esta no es la excepción. Este bosque en concreto forma parte del Bosque Nacional Daniel Boone. Es una zona de Kentucky y siempre ha sido foco de mucha actividad paranormal y de críptidos. En este caso, de un posible Sasquatch. Siempre se ha reportado la aparición de este tipo de criaturas en la zona. Y este caso no es la excepción.
That has not happened to me on this trip. I'm making sure to pay attention and make adjustments, but it has happened to me more times than I can count. We're still going up, but it's not as bad as it was at the beginning. The biggest difference is the wind. That's weird. I thought I heard footsteps. I couldn't tell if it was in front of me or behind me. I could just hear wet stomping. I know one thing for certain. I am out here by myself. The pullover to get onto this trail is big enough barely for my truck. So nobody else is up here. Well, no human anyways. Do you all hear that? Let's go down here real quick and see if we can see it. Okay, well, I looked. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going. Whatever it was, I'm not going to chase down the mountain. The odds are it was a bear. They are very active this time of year. They're gathering as much food as they possibly can before hibernation. That was rather interesting. What do you think it was? Bear? Definitely too big to be a deer. Bigfoot? You never know. Hopefully you all can hear me. I know it's raining rather hard, plus the thunder. But I'm hearing those wet footsteps again behind me. I'm not going to spend any more time and go back up, but it's definitely odd. When you're in the forest, you never know. You just never know. The Devil's Throne is very, very cool. I'm still not 100% sure why it's called that. I'd love to know the history of this area a little bit more. I'll do more research and see what I can find. And whenever I do a part 2 to this and I come back and camp, I'll share it with you all. With the trip that took place a year ago, that was a wild adventure, folks. First off, everything was flooded. It was storming the entire time. Water was just racing down this trail here. And as I was hiking up this mountain here, I started hearing footsteps. Something was behind me and following me. As I hiked up the mountain here, it continued to follow. Once I got to the top, I didn't hear it anymore. But as soon as I started back on the trail to go back, it was there with me. And it followed me all the way down to the parking lot. Speaking of the parking lot, it's not much of one. More than anything, it's a pull-off on the side of the road, out in the middle of nowhere. We are easily 30, 40 miles away from any town, any city. If you were to ask me what I thought was following me, because I never did see it, I ran towards it, again, never saw it. I suspect it was a black bear. Ultimately though, I have no idea. Now, of course, some people believed it was Bigfoot that was following me. Was it Bigfoot? I have no idea. But I will tell you this. Once I got home, I researched this area some more, and there are, in fact, Bigfoot sightings out here. I have also found some interesting stories concerning this area that tie back to the Devil Throne's name. Once I get up here to the top and we make lunch, I'll tell you about the stories that I've read. They are quite interesting. I could have swore I heard like a screaming sort of sound. It happened twice from over here somewhere. There are no trails out this way. There's absolutely nothing. There it is again. I have no idea what that is. It does not sound like a bobcat. It doesn't sound human either. It sounds weird. I walked back to film a walk past scene. Something is in the woods. I can hear it making footsteps and leaves far off. I have no idea. Unfortunately, we have a storm around us somewhere, so I'm hearing thunder. I heard that screaming sound twice. I heard some footsteps, but now the storm is approaching. I'm hearing that instead of that. You know what I mean? Something is out there walking. As an update, we continue to go up. This trail is not oftenly used, so it's not really all that well maintained. At times, it's almost like bushwhacking. Again, everybody, we are being followed. There is something in the woods. The odds of it being a bear, it's likely. But what are the chances of that happening twice? A year ago and today? I don't know. The rain is coming in. It's light, but it's coming down. I hear it, but I don't see it. Just in case you're a first timer to this channel and you don't know this, I am a Bigfoot skeptic, a paranormal skeptic. I'm a skeptic of all of that stuff. I'm a skeptic, but I have an open mind. I'm willing to take a look at any real evidence, such as with Bigfoot, but do not send me a picture zoomed in 5,000% on some black blob and tell me that's Bigfoot, because it's not. As I'm walking on this trail here, I'm looking for tracks. Human tracks, animal tracks, any type of track. And so far, I've seen nothing. What I find interesting about this, I mean, there's no deer tracks. And let me tell you all, there's a huge deer population here. Animals in the forest will take the path of least resistance, which is a trail. Now, I'll tell you what, folks. I'll tell you all a little bit about what I read concerning this area. First, with the Bigfoot stories, there are a ton of them. Nothing recent that I've seen. I think the last one was 2015. Most of the reports that I've seen out here dealt with seeing a large black creature. The interesting note was that the creature had black eyes. That ties into the history of this area and what I've been able to uncover about the Devil's Throne. Apparently, the Cherokee believed that there was a witch that lived up here on top of this mountain, and the witch had black eyes. That's somewhat interesting. That does go hand in hand with like the being that was seen out here, the Bigfoot thing or whatever you want to call it. I personally find that to be rather intriguing. What about you all? To this day, there have been paranormal activity recorded up here. I've seen numerous reports where people stated that when standing on the cliff up here, it felt like someone kind of pushes them towards the edge. After the Cherokee Indians moved out of the area, the folklore continued. And according to what I've been able to uncover, the witch with the black eyes, she roams the forest up here. And as you're hiking the trail, it will feel like someone is watching you. You may even get the feeling that someone is following you, which is, again, somewhat interesting since I've had that experience twice. I thought I heard something. Not sure what. I don't know. I can't hear anything with that jacket hood on. You know, everybody, I really like this rain jacket with the exception of this collar. Look at this thing. I feel like Count Dracula. It's gigantic. It's obnoxious. That's what it is. As you all can see as I'm going through this trail here, it'll be overgrown in no time. Already, folks, we've dropped about 200 feet in elevation, and this is smooth sailing for the rest of the trip here. As far as the time goes, it's a little bit after 4 o'clock, and it's pretty dark in the forest today. Up there at the rock, it was really dark. That's why I had that light with me. We were basically up in the clouds. I definitely heard footsteps. I don't know if it's in my mind because of what I've read online, but I definitely feel like someone is watching. Check that out. That is a sweet rock overhang. Let's go over to it real quick. That is really nice. It's completely dry in there. If you were looking for a survival shelter, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this adventure. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to comment down below and share your thoughts. What do you all think about the Bigfoot stories that come from this area? And what do you all think about the Devil's Throne? And also, what do you think about the story about the witch? Very interesting folklore. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe not. Take care, be well, strength and honor. I'll see you soon.
Si hay algo que me parezca interesante acerca de este youtuber, es que pese a que dice ser escéptico del tema paranormal y de Bigfoot o Sasquatch, parece tener en cuenta las reglas sobre lo que se les enseña a los niños en los Apalaches, porque parece respetar esa regla de no acercarse demasiado, de no llamar a esta posible entidad paranormal o críptido, y también sigue la regla de alejarse de manera calmada del lugar. En el último de los videos parece estar un poco asustado ya cuando baja de la montaña y regresa a su vehículo. ¿Ustedes qué opinan? ¿Se trata simplemente de personas o de algún tipo de entidad paranormal que, de acuerdo a su investigación, habita en el lugar?
Oh, look what I just found. That's the best source I've seen since I left Neil Gap. I'm going to fill up and I'm going to drink some too. Okay. That is some beautiful water. Very grateful to have found that spot. So I saw this stealth site right off a trail. It's not the greatest. It's I mean, it would work. There's a kind of a flat spot right there. Some nice trees to tie the tarp to. I walked down this little side trail a little further, and I'm kind of glad I did because there's some sort of animal den underneath that rock, and it's fresh. I mean, you can tell they've been going in and out of it, so I don't want any animal encounters this evening, so I think I'm going to keep on going. Plus, it's still kind of early. Hey, talk about creepy. I was just down at that cell site there checking it out, talking about it, and I heard and saw a hiker coming down the trail. And I thought I'd stay at the campsite and wait for the hiker to pass. And the hiker never passed, and there's nobody here, and it's freaking me out right now. I've got chills up and down my spine. And I saw a person with a pack on, wearing hiking clothes. There's no way they passed me. Yeah, this is weird. I'm getting out of this spot. I'm telling you, that's yeah, if the animal den wasn't enough, yeah, this is the spot where I thought I saw somebody. And, you know, honestly, that's the second time today that's happened. And the first time is when I was sawing that log, and I looked over and I was like, oh, someone's coming up the trail. The log will be sawed for them when they get here, and there was never anybody there. And I think I might have just saw a leaf. I don't know.
En este caso, pese a que tenemos que confiar en el testimonio del youtuber que afirma haber visto a una persona que luego no lo rebasó durante su trayecto por el Sendero de los Apalaches, una ruta que es muy transitada y que recorre todo el país de norte a sur. Tomé la decisión de incluirlo porque considero que esta persona es bastante confiable, ya que dentro de todos los videos que ha subido a su canal de YouTube, ninguno busca tener este efecto sensacionalista de simplemente llamar la atención. Por lo tanto, creo que él verdaderamente se sintió amenazado en ese momento y que realmente vio a alguien que se acercaba a él mientras se encontraba en este campamento que está un poco escondido a las orillas del Sendero de los Apalaches. ¿Quién era? ¿Era realmente una persona física o era una entidad fantasmal? Yo me inclino más por lo primero, porque hace poco tiempo surgieron unos videos en los que otro excursionista que recorría el Sendero de los Apalaches se topó con una situación bastante anormal. Y es que fue encontrando una serie de animales muertos y una serie de escritos en uno de estos refugios que se encuentran dispuestos en el Sendero de los Apalaches. Y realmente podríamos hablar de que es peligroso que algunos excursionistas recorran este sendero completamente solos, porque se puede prestar alguna situación de bandidaje, de asalto o incluso algo más grave. ¿Ustedes qué opinan? ¿Realmente este youtuber vio algo? Un punto a su favor es que solo subió un video más después de este encuentro que tuvo, y en él no hizo referencia en ningún momento a esta situación que vivió. Por lo tanto, como les digo, es un youtuber bastante confiable, pero que parece haberse sentido amenazado en ese momento específico.